probably
No, it says
now.
it says we are. Yeah, welcome guys to episode 50.
Hey.
I'm gonna just come right out and say it. We took a few shots from part A, which is on my channel, Awesome Sauce Network.
Yeah.
Go ahead and watch that first, and then come back to this one, unless you're just risky and you like to watch things out of order. But yeah, we took a few shots, so we're a little bit amped, and
Just a little.
things might get a little crazy on Paul's half of the show. So stay tuned.
We've had
There's gonna be some good shite while we open up some more links here.
But you know what, guys? If you have not watched the show before, then let me explain to you what this show is all about. It's about awesome hardware. That's why it's called Awesome Hardware.
Who's this guy?
Basically, I do not know.
I know that guy.
Let's skip that ad. Let's skip the ad. Skip the ad. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a show that Kyle and I do every Tuesday evening, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
And we stream it live. We stream it live to twitch.tv/awesomehardware if you want to watch it there. And all of our old school Twitch viewers, big thanks to all you guys for sticking with us throughout the years.
Yes, I do sleep with a blanket. Who cares?
Or the year, I should say. This is episode 50. This is our 50th episode extravaganza. Extravaganza that we're having.
Fiesta!
Which basically means, Kyle, you had so many more links than I did. I feel like I have had... No, it's alright though. It's alright.
Because I'm a link whore.
Anyway, though, guys, really appreciate you all being here for the show. And, we're going to talk some technology.
Word.
And it's going to be great.
Word.
Great times. At the same time, we're drinking some beer. We typically do that every week. The beer that I am drinking is absolutely delicious.
It is.
It is from the Stone Brewing Company.
It sounds so fancy when you say it that way.
In California. They're in California, right? Where are they from? Escondido.
Escondido.
Escondido. Bitter Chocolate Oatmeal Stout is what I am drinking. It is from their 20th Anniversary Encore Series.
Yes.
And really, really good. Kyle grabbed this for me, so thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you like it.
It's way better than the goddamn apple vodka shots that we've been doing.
Oh, thank God we're past that.
Yeah.
No more of that in your half of the show.
Very glad. No shots lined up in my half of the show.
And I've got Tabit Brewing. Tabit Brewing has made an excellent Rimfire Red, which is an Imperial Red IPA. If you guys are a fan of Reds and IPAs, this is an excellent choice. 9.3%. From San Luis. San Luis is the best bow.
SLO.
Slow. Good old slow.
Nah.
It's tasty.
Oh.
It's tasty. Thank you guys for joining us, though. It's a pleasure to have you all here on board, especially after my half of the show. Amazed that you guys have stuck around since then.
Yeah, Kyle's half of the show was riotous.
It was.
So if you guys are watching this on YouTube and you didn't watch Kyle's first half, definitely check that out. It's on Awesome Sauce Network. It's also linked down in the description.
We take shots.
Links in the description are also there for all of the stories and articles that we're about to discuss here on the show today.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's all.
Yep.
That's all. Also, I have tweeted, right? Yeah, I did. I did tweet.
Paul tweets.
Good. Just double checking that I actually did that, and not that it was a figment of my imagination. Okay.
At this point, it's really all fair game.
All right. Guys, I'm really going to try to maintain and stay on point for this half of the show, but just to point out, I've had several shots of vodka, which
we're not used to.
I don't do all the time, I'll be honest. I'm not a heavy drinker. I drink on the show, I drink on Tuesdays, not a lot otherwise. Anyway, though, let's start off as we usually do with the second half of the show, and that is with news, which is typically tech news. Technologically sound news, so to speak. Okay. So,
I'm gonna start farting on stream.
All right, so let's start with this one. This one I found to be pretty interesting. Actually, you know what I should do before I start with that one is have my notes available. Notes. Notes are the key for this half of the show. Otherwise, I will have no idea what I'm talking about.
Read them.
All right,
verbatim.
OC3D.net or Overclock3D.net has this article on AMD reportedly making a 32-core CPU, codename Zeppelin, which I think is a kind of a badass name for a code name for a CPU. Zeppelin.
Yep. That means like there's a blimp.
A Zeppelin is a blimp.
Yeah.
The famous rock band Led Zeppelin got their name because they brought their music, their demo tape, to a producer, and he said, your band is going to go down faster than Led Zeppelin. So they took that and they made it the name of their band, and they became one of the most iconic rock.
I bet that guy's not in the business.
Iconic rock bands in history. Anyway,
you're either iconic or you're icantic.
You're iconic. So anyway, AMD's reportedly making a 32-core CPU, codenamed Zeppelin, based on Zen architecture. This is a rumor which is primarily based on code from a leaked Linux kernel patch, which is, I think, shown. Wait, where is that shown?
What?
Yeah, that's shown right here. Anyway, the CPU would use Zen architecture. The Zen architecture is modular, which means that it's kind of like blocks. It's like chunks, and you can put more of the chunks together to add more chunks together. So CPUs can be made up of Zen quad-core units, which you can pile on top of each other to make a 4-core or an 8-core or a 16-core. You know, just keep piling them up until you get up to what this is, which is a 32-core, right? So that's pretty cool.
So it's like coreception?
It's coreception. Yeah, so combine those 4-core modules, make a special... They have a special AMD designed interconnect between the cores to hopefully maintain efficiency between them, because that would be one of the big potential downfalls of combining a bunch of, blocks of chunks of CPU together.
Right.
The other cool thing is that the Zen architecture is going to feature SMT, which is basically AMD's version of hyperthreading. SMT stands for simultaneous multi-threading, and that basically means that for every 4 cores they have, you will have 8 total threads of addressable CPU threads by the operating system, which means that this 32-core CPU will have 64 frickin' threads, which is a lot. And if everything stands to, if everything sort of stands up to what AMD has been talking about with what Zen is supposed to do with it when it comes to 40% increase in instructions per clock, for example, compared to current excavator cores. Taking that and then combining it into a 32-core CPU would be pretty freaking impressive. So I want one.
I'm curious to see what the percentage increase is right now from excavator cores to a Core i7 Intel Skylake chip.
It depends what you're doing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I should know. I'd like to be like, well, Kyle, off the top of my head, they have a 40% instructions per clock improvement, but I don't know.
Well, what happens if Zen is pretty much an i7 Skylake equivalent? Do you think that's a win or a fail for AMD?
It's definitely a hell of a lot better than what they've been able to accomplish in the past 3 to 4 years.
Right.
But what everyone wants is for Zen to be they want. I want Zen to be what the FX series was in 2006, 2007, which was kicking the shit out of Intel and forcing them to completely redo the way that they approach CPU development, that kind of thing. That's it was completely AMD's fault that Intel went to the TikTok cycle that they're on right now.
Yeah.
But since Intel went to the TikTok cycle that they're on right now, they've destroyed AMD when it comes to advancement and development of CPU architecture. So, anyway, me and I think lots of people out there really want Zen to come out and smack Intel down. And who knows, maybe making a modular design that they can scale up this much might mean that they can come up with something pretty powerful against it. I hope so. But we really don't know. We really do not know right now.
Yeah.
We'll find out later. But hey, it's still cool to talk about for the time being. Okay. Let's talk about this one next. I did a video on this. Intel has shut down, or is going to shut down, the cheap overclocking party by closing the Skylake loophole for BCLK overclocking. This is a PC... What?
So this is for the non-K SKUs?
Yeah. So overclocking non-K CPUs. This is a PC World article by Gordon Ung, who's a really good article writer. He's a good radicaler.
Radicler? He's radical.
I've been trying.
You're making up words.
I've been keeping it together so well up till now. He's a great writer.
Radicler.
He's a fantastic reviewer, and he doesn't mince words or sugarcoat things. That's why I like Gordon Ung. Okay.
He's a great revider.
He's a fabulous communicator. The way he can just establishmentize senticulousness to the... It's really fabulatory. What? All right.
He's very, very talented.
Okay. So, let's start from the beginning here. Let's start from the beginning. If you have no idea what's going on here.
Take a deep breath, everyone.
Skylake processors from Intel have a new feature, which Intel advertised when they launched them, which was incremental increases to the BCLK. BCLK is also known as base clock. Typically, it's 100 hertz. And 100 hertz base clock times whatever your multiplier is whatever the frequency of your CPU is. Unlocked CPUs from Intel, which typically have a K on the end, like 6600K or 6700K when it comes to the Skylake series, have an unlocked multiplier. So you can take that multiplier, which is default set to like 39 or something like that, set it to like 44 or 46, get yourself a 4.4 gigahertz or 4.6 gigahertz overclock, respectively. Motherboard manufacturers have taken this, the BCLK, the base clock, incremental increase spec, and said, well, look, if you treat the multiplier as a fixed value, but then you just can incrementally increase the BCLK, then effectively you can get the same thing. And it's much more effective now, especially since Intel has taken the BCLK and it's sort of unlinked it from the other
DMI
parts of the CPU that it affects, such as PCI Express and DMI. So motherboard manufacturers took this, sort of made some BIOS versions that sort of take it to the next level, that allow you to take the BCLK and set it to 120 or 130 or 140 or whatever the hell you want to set it to get yourself a nice overclock on non-K SKU Intel CPUs, such as the 6400 or what I use, which was the 6500. Basically, Intel never sanctioned this, never approved this. Motherboard manufacturers have gone ahead with this because they could without any actual specific feedback from Intel. But now we have feedback from Intel, which is no.
Stop it.
That's really what it is.
We're shutting you down.
Don't do that shit no more.
Yeah.
So
sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It sucks. But
it's bound to happen though. Because it makes certain like unlocked SKU processors from Intel relevant.
Which is what I wanted to do with some of the videos I've been working on recently and some of the ones I was hopefully working on to come up, but I'm sort of not sure about it now.
Yeah.
Which is like, look, instead of spending $230 or $240 on a 6600K, spend $180 on a 6400K, overclock it, get yourself better performance, and get yourself more bang for the buck. Which was what I was trying to do, but Intel has kind of come out and said, no, we're not going to allow that. What they're trying to do is protect the price points of their K-series CPUs, the 6600K and 6700K. Unfortunately, the 6700K in particular right now is ridiculously overpriced.
Expensive.
It is like $420, $430.
You might as well get a 5820K and go X99.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
2 more cores.
How much they're charging for that CPU, considering that in the past what they've charged for the same level of CPU is $320, $330, $340.
That's why everyone should be rooting for Zen.
Yeah.
So Intel has more competition and more reason to lower their prices, and they actually have some competition instead of being able to get away with inflating all their chip, MSRPs. Yes. It's pretty insane.
We need more competition so that Intel can't pull this. Honestly, if AMD was providing more competition for Intel right now, I could easily have seen Intel just letting this go. Because it wasn't necessarily the same type of experience that you had overclocking in this situation that you did with buying the sanctioned unlocked overclockable CPU and chipset that you could have gotten from Intel right out of the gate. If you buy 6600K and a Z170 motherboard, you can overclock pretty easily.
Yeah.
If you do this situation, this configuration that I showed in the video that I posted a week and a half ago, you can still do it. It's not the same though. It's a little different. Like you can't see your core temperatures.
Right.
You know, there's some quirks to it, some differences to it that make it not so much like, I don't know. It's just not quite as easy and not quite as advisable to people, I guess, as you would. So that's why I, for at least a time, was like, you know, I think Intel might let this go. But what we've also been waiting for is some official response from this, and the official response from Intel is like, no, we're going to shut this down. So the question would be, if you've already done this, or if you still want to do this, can you still do it? The answer would be yes. So specifically, if right now you have a motherboard and CPU combination, and you're doing this right now, and you just don't update your BIOS, then you will still be able to do this. Basically, a CPU has microcode, which is, I don't know, I kind of equate it to like a motherboard's BIOS. It's like rewritable information. We'll simplify it and say that. So CPU's microcode can be updated by a motherboard BIOS update. So when you update your motherboard's BIOS, that can also take some additional information that Intel has fed over to the motherboard manufacturer that updates some of the microcode that's in the CPU itself.
Right.
Once that has been updated, according to what we've been told, you will no longer be able to do this BCLK overclocking.
So just don't update your BIOS.
So yeah, if you've already done this and you're like, I don't want to, I screw you, Intel. I want to keep my, with my overclock, and you just don't update your BIOS. Yes, you can still keep doing this.
But eventually, some people are going to have to. They're going to have to bite the bullet because when Pascal or new AMD GPUs come out, they're going to have to update the BIOS for their motherboard to support those cards. And you're going to get support for those cards, granted, but you will then be probably locked out of overclocking that locked chip. If you're running Skylake on Z170.
So, if you got it right now and you don't do an update, you can
enjoy it while you can, basically, because eventually you won't be able to.
If you were looking at doing this in the future, then it becomes a gray area, because CPUs that are on the shelves right now that don't have this microcode update, you can buy and use one of the existing BIOS versions that are out there.
Right.
Not just the manufacturers that I was working with, like ASRock, had them on their beta BIOS downloads, but those are probably going to be gone. But there's other websites that already have these BIOS versions that are cached that you can still download and use for this method.
Right.
The thing that I don't know, but I want to find out as soon as I can, is a CPU's microcode, can it be rolled back? Is there any way you can go in there, specifically tell a BIOS to, hey,
revert back to an older version?
Revert back to an old version of microcode. It seems feasible to me.
Yeah.
But if that is the case, if you could roll it back, then you could potentially buy even a new CPU, like a 6400 or 6500, download one of these older versions of the BIOS or the special BIOSes that allow the BCLK overclocking, put that on your motherboard, load up with your CPU, it would update the CPU microcode, and you could still do this version of overclocking. But again, I don't know. I don't know if it will do that. I don't know if it'll roll back microcode, or if microcode is like, this is the latest one, and this is what we're sticking with.
Paul's hardware video coming soon.
So yeah, we'll figure that out, and we'll let you guys know. But for the time being, Intel is basically kind of bringing down the hammer on this and saying, no, you guys can't do this. So we're kind of sad about that one.
Yeah.
We are overclock blocked.
We're cock blocked.
Overclock blocked.
Clock blocked.
That's what I put in the. We're clock blocked.
Totally clock blocked.
That's what I put the title. So we have to say the title.
Beautiful.
At one point. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on. What's next?
What you got?
I don't know. Oh.
What you got, brah? Is it sword fight? No, Lego custom
ARS
PC.
Technica article about a really cool custom.
Greatest
PC.
custom PC build of all time.
Is it the greatest
Bullshit.
Custom PC build of all time? There
Organic
it is right there.
X shape. It's all Legos.
This computer is made from Legos.
You mean the chassis?
And it has an X-shaped design. Yes, the chassis. So if you look at it from the top, it's X-shaped, you know?
Sure.
Right? So look, there it is with everything enclosed. There it is with the hardware. So
How do they? I guess they maybe super glue the pieces.
That's right.
Because when they take the top off, how do they keep it from?
No, they don't, Kyle.
No.
So the designer of this build, what's his name? I feel like this article should say the name of the person who made this build at some point.
Mike Schrupp.
Where do you see that? Oh yeah, Mike Schrupp. A guy called Mike Schrupp has built this out of Legos, and he says he used a Lego technique of overlapping, so that none of this is glued, but it still stays in place and is very sturdy.
Doesn't make sense to me.
If
you have 1,000 layers, if you have 100 layers of Legos stacking up across the motherboard, how do you ensure that when you pull it off, it actually detaches at that one plane that you want?
Kyle, we're not.
I'm not a Lego mastermind.
We're not here to argue over
All right. All right. I'll let it slide.
These minor quibbles.
Overruled.
Anyway, all right. So a cool thing about the design of this, like for instance, look at the video card that's up on top. Did you notice the heatsink that the video card has on it?
It's just a basic heatsink. There's no fan. Passive?
No.
Is there no fan?
That's the heatsink.
Oh, that's the
heatsink. Vertical. So they took something. It's not a Hyper to 12, but it's something akin to a vertical heatsink. And they installed it this way so that the graphics card can be this way, but the heatsink sticks out this way. Another unique thing about this design by Mike is that these heatsinks are completely supported by the Legos that are beneath them.
Sure.
So you have no potential for like sag or that kind of thing.
Sure.
So anyway, there's the custom designed heatsink that he made for the GPU as well as the block over the power delivery elements. There's the power supply that you can see, which is mounted kind of vertically. And it's got a couple smaller fans here. It looks like maybe 80mm fans.
Yep.
Providing a bit of extra exhaust so that the heat that comes from the power supply will get vented out more quickly.
Right.
He's using Noctua fans on here. So there's a set of fans at the bottom and another set of fans at the top that provide exhaust. So here's a look at the kind of the external shroud that kind of goes over the top of the whole thing with the Noctua fans that are kind of built into it. Some 120s it looks like at the top here, as well as a 140 on top of this one.
So he does have ventilation at the top then?
Yeah, he's got ventilation at the bottom and at the top. That pushes air from the very bottom of the system through all the heat sinks and everything and out the top.
I don't see any dust filters in there, Paul.
You're right.
I'm going to dock him some points there.
I think you're right. There's not much in the way of dust filters. Look at that I/O though. Some cable management right there. Look, you just got this nice clean set of black cables coming out.
I like how they route kind of like inside. They're kind of clamped down. That's nice.
And this, I believe, is
a fan hub.
Is a work in progress design of like some of these USB cables coming up.
A fan hub up there.
Oh yeah, you're right. You got a fan hub over on this side. Anyway, really cool design for this build.
This is a golden opportunity for Lego. Lego, if you guys are watching this, golden opportunity. Start making like Lego chassis. Holy shit. I'm sure you would get so many effing sales off of Lego chassis if you just start, or just like Lego kits. Like build your own chassis and provide like the motherboard standoffs and like different mounting points for particular CPU.
He is totally serious about the Lego
PC
design.
Though.
Like he's
it's
got
pretty sweet.
All the little cups up there with the different Lego pieces in them and everything.
This guy's hardcore, man.
Anyway, so Mike Schrupp, this is an absolutely beautiful build.
Yep.
Completely custom designed. I love the inclusion of the Legos.
Yeah.
I love the clean look of the finished thing. I love how, it's fairly thin except for the, obviously you got the parts that stick out on it.
Wide footprint, but
and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, fairly small.
Was that I wasn't even looking. Was that a full ATX board in there or a mini ATX?
That's a good question.
Mini micro?
It looks like a mini ATX.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If I had to guess,
that's probably an SFX power supply.
Yeah. Actually, no. This is a PCI Express riser card right here, which means there's only one PCI Express slot.
That is mini ATX.
So definitely mini ATX.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool build.
Well done, sir. Well done. Kudos.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
On to our next segment, I believe.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Our next segment might...
What?
I might...
Why do you have Marquez up here?
What? That's Team Crispy Live. Alright, so our next segment is story time.
Oh, story time.
Or cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro. We haven't done this one in a while.
We haven't done this in a while.
What do we do in this segment again?
No, what I realized is I completely did not even...
Shame on you.
All this stuff, right?
Shame on you!
I do not think that this will be captured properly for me to show people.
What?
But let me try.
Shut up. Shut up, bruh.
Let me see what I can do here.
Work your magic, girl.
Alright. Story time.
Work it.
Anyway, though, but it's alright, though, because that was the second half of story time. The first half of story time is Team Crispy Live.
Oh.
You remember Team Crispy Live, right, Cal?
Yeah, we were just there like 2-3 days ago.
So Team Crispy Live is... Well, who's Team Crispy?
So it's Marquez Brownlee, it's Austin Evans,
Yeah.
it's John from TLD,
Yeah.
and it's Lou from Unbox Therapy, and Judd from Average Consumer.
Your average consumer, yes.
5 of those guys.
Those are the members of Team Crispy Live.
Mm-hmm.
And they had an event on Saturday, and Kyle and I both went to it.
We did.
Which involved basically a hour and a half ish to 2 hour stage event.
Yep.
Where they were up on stage and people were. I don't know what happened.
They did a Q&A.
Yeah, they did a Q&A.
They answered questions from the audience. We were in downtown Los Angeles, and there was about 300 to 400 people, I would estimate, that showed up. And this is a beautiful clip from the intro video that they showed exclusively at the event of Austin rocking that six-pack. Totally not photoshopped at all.
He's gorgeous.
It was a really cool event. The guys got to strut their stuff and kind of connect with the audience. They also did a meet and greet right after that Q&A panel that they held, where just a bunch of people, bunch of dudes mostly, were able to walk up to them and conversate.
We got wristbands going in, these Team Crispy Live wristbands.
We got VIP bands.
We also got yellow wristbands, which made us feel special until we realized that they did nothing.
they really didn't. This is the epic selfie that they took.
Yeah. So this is the...
which we're not in, because it's not widescreen.
We were like over here. We were on this side somewhere. So we weren't in that. But yeah. No, there's a lot of people there. There's a good, I don't know. 200-300 people probably.
At least, yeah.
It's pretty good. And, they had some good demos and everything. This was us afterwards. We were talking to...
John.
To John from TLD. TLD Today.
His shirt was matching his laptop. How fly is that?
Kyle took this picture.
Shit's on the fly.
Of John, and John tweeted it. You should have tagged Kyle, but that's cool. That's cool, John.
He did another one. He's good.
No, that picture's beautiful. It's Austin.
Yeah, I have that hanging up above our fireplace at home. I mean,
it's gorgeous.
I've never seen that picture in my life.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So Kyle, what did you learn from Team Crispy Live?
I learned that the Team Crispy crew is super legit. That they are some really nice guys. I didn't really learn that. I've already known that. I've already known that they were super chill guys. And actually, Austin and John work in the same studio, which isn't too far from us. So we have to crash their pad sometime and pay them a visit. We have to totally pay them a visit sometime because they're literally like 15 minutes away from where you live, which is where we are right now, obviously. It'd be really cool to just kind of check in and, just fuck their couch.
It would be, just go at it.
Fuck your couch.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know in the comments if we should go to Austin and John's studio and fuck their couch.
Yeah. I think fucking their couch is like the best idea.
I'm down for that. All right.
It's going to get a lot of views.
At the same time, since this is story time, right? This is story time. Wait,
more or less.
Let's reinforce that. Story time.
Yeah, you have a story.
Cool story, bro.
You have a story.
So I went snowboarding this weekend.
Ooh.
Snowboarding.
In Big Bear.
In Big Bear, that's one of the benefits of living in Southern California is, you know, you can drive for, you know, an hour-ish or so in one direction and get to the beach.
Right.
Or drive for an hour and a half-ish in the other direction and get to the mountains where you can go snowboarding and stuff.
That is true.
So, I was going to share that with you guys, right?
What do we got? What do we got, Paul?
All right, so I have this. It's not a GoPro. It is a monoprice. It is a monoprice little GoPro style action camera. So I had that up there, and I tested it out. Yep. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to like make a video out of it or anything like that, but I ended up, you know, I got some footage, and I flipped it so it's hopefully the right way up now. And I was gonna show you guys some of that. Hold on, wait, there it is.
So. Did you eat a bunch of shit, or were you pretty? Did you handle that? Did you handle that?
My wife might have had some issues here and there, but you know, we'll see.
All right.
Hold on, you guys. Here, we don't need that. We don't need that.
All right. I'm cool.
All right, so here's me snowboarding.
Snowboarding.
I'm gonna skip forward at a few points in this video because it's a little chaotic at points. Like right now.
Right.
Also, it happened to be that while I was actually snowboarding, I seemed to have a much more difficult time actually going fast. I was just... Normally I can go fairly fast. Yeah. But then whenever I had the camera on me, I was like, wait, no,
You gotta mind the camera.
I gotta mind the camera.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's understandable. I'd be the same way.
My wife was there as well. Wait, where's my wife? She was there.
I saw her in one of the clips. Is this 60 FPS at 1080? It looks pretty smooth.
Yeah, it's 60 frames per second.
I can tell.
There's my wife right there. As you can see, she's wearing the Paul's Hardware shirt.
Nice.
And she
Reppin'.
What?
Reppin' PH.
Oh, sorry. Give me a second. Jumping forward. Okay, this is better. Anyway, so yeah, this was at Snow Summit, which is in Big Bear. Snow Summit and Bear Mountain are the two resorts that are in Big Bear, and they're both pretty. I mean, they're decent. Yeah. You're in Southern California, so you're not getting like super high quality snow or anything like that.
Right.
But I was kind of happy with the performance of this little mini camera.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
How much is it retail? MSRP?
I don't know.
Okay.
I do not know at all, actually.
I mean, does it have image stabilization? It looks like it does.
Maybe.
Unless the
Maybe a little bit. I have no idea.
It looks like it does.
So let's jump forward. There's one where I did quite a few runs. Oh wait, no, we don't want to show this. This is me.
Looks like you're
God, renting. It's upside down. It's upside down.
I'm down.
No, I accidentally left it on at one point. I left it on at one point while I was going through the line and everything. All right. This is a terrible low angle of me and my... All right. So I only did one run where you can actually see me. There we go. That's better. See, look, I'm telling a story. I'm showing a story right now.
No, you are. I like it.
Me snowboarding.
This is a cool shot, actually, with the sun in the background. It kind of creates like a lens flare.
Yeah, it does.
You can get the lens flare there.
That's high quality...
Usually I can only get that in Photoshop, so...
Entertainment right there. Anyway, so there's me snowboarding along. Anyway, I'm not like a crazy good snowboarder or anything like that, but I like going fast if I can.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
And this was kind of a wait, hold on. There's another yeah. This was kind of a test day.
Because you're going to
we got a Mammoth trip coming up in a few more weeks here.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 days we're gonna be in Mammoth, so wanted to kind of stretch the muscles and all that good stuff.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah. So hopefully that's a cool story for you guys to have seen. Of all us.
No, like it looks like it has image stabilization because it looks very smooth.
It was fun.
Even when you roll back and forth when you're panning and stuff, so that's cool.
I did not...
GG Monoprice.
Yes, you're very right about that one. I did not wear a helmet, although my wife did.
What's snowboarding? It's not like you're riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, I didn't wear a helmet.
You're a big boy.
But I did not fall.
He's a big boy.
I did not fall once the entire day.
Wow. So well, look at you.
Knock on wood.
Look at you.
Knock on wood. Somehow I managed to do that.
Paul's a big boy now.
Well, I've snowboarded for quite a few years. I should hopefully be able to get through a day, you know. Plus, I'm being cautious. I'm older now, so I'm cautious. All right.
Old and stuff. He was going 1 mile an hour.
You know what it's time for?
Sword fight.
Time for sword fight.
Hey!
Hey!
I just guessed. I'm glad I was right.
Guys, it's time for sword fight. That is the point in the show when Kyle and I both argue about things for a good 10 minutes or so.
Yes.
Sword fight is typically us taking opposite viewpoints on a controversial topic.
Word.
Although, you know, it's give or take. It doesn't always work that way, so we'll see how things go. But today's sword fight is a special sword fight since it's our 50th show and all, right? This is Sword Fight Robots Edition. Robots!
Oh,
Indeed.
shit!
We're going to be arguing about
Drop
robots.
the robot bombs.
And I'm very excited. Okay.
Alright, so what are they destroying the world this time?
What did I just do to my computer?
It's Windows 10. No, this is Windows 8.
Damn it, Windows.
8.1.
God damn it, Windows. Why?
I just want my desktop!
I've not had this problem with Windows.
I'm sorry you have to deal with this right now.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
horrible. Just click that. Click anywhere in the box. No, that doesn't do anything either. Desktop? What the fuck do you allow is this? Well, I've never seen Windows 8.1 act so derpy.
Right, I fix it.
Jeez.
Wow,
that was intuitive. Holy shit.
Awful.
My mom would have totally figured that out.
Oh my God.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah.
What the hell was
Upgrading
I
Windows
talking
10
about?
today.
Here we go. Sword fight.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sword Fight Robots Edition
Yeah.
is what we're talking about right now.
Uh-huh.
Let's start off with this MIT Technology Review article about this Uncrushable robot. It's actually a robot cockroach. Kyle?
Are you looking at me because you just said the word cock and you want me to
No, it's
have
a
some kind of
robot-
response? Is that the kind of guy you think I am, Paul?
No, it's
Because I can be that guy.
It's a robot cockroach.
Cock and balls?
And
Is that what you want?
I mean, it could be.
I like.
All right, so
It's funny.
here's the question here, right?
Yep.
First off, did I actually open all of the links that I wanted to? Answer would be no.
What is wrong with them?
Wait, that's the fingers. Hold on.
Help
hold on,
them.
Hold on.
Help them, someone.
Hold on. Give me just a second.
Jesus Christmas.
Close all this garbage.
Jiminy Crickets.
Okay.
Fuck you, Minnie. Haha.
Now, I wanted to pull up, there's a PDF about this. All right, PDF. There it is. Okay. That's better. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. All right, so basically there's a robot cockroach.
Robocock.
This robot cockroach...
Robocock.
This robot cockroach has been developed not to freak people out or look disgusting, but to rescue people from confined spaces. So this PDF, which should be linked in the video description.
So there's a new Robocock in town?
Yes.
That's Savior?
Exactly. It shows how cockroaches can go from being upright and vertical to squinching...
Super flat.
Yeah, squinching themselves down.
2 pennies.
To a super
height.
flat... So look at this.
4 millimeters.
Look at it. There's a cockroach, and there's it like, I'm going to crouch, and there's it's like, I'm going to be super small. So...
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
That's a cockroach, you know, you're getting down, getting low.
Grosses me out.
As you might say.
Getting low. Roaches know how to party.
They've developed this cockroach carapace, which can shrink down, get very tiny, and go underneath things to rescue you from, say, being trapped in a building, right? So it's able to squeeze its body in tight spaces and still keep moving thanks to an exoskeleton made of soft materials. The developers of the robot cockroach here have conducted a wide array of experiments. They have tested compressing real cockroaches and observing the forces placed on them. They've also built a device called a compressible robot with articulated mechanisms. Compressible robot with articulated mechanisms, CRAM, which stands for cram.
Cram.
Like cramming it into a tiny space, right? Which is what this is made for. It's so perfect.
Scientists are getting too clever.
It's so perfect. So anyway, this is a awesome hardware a sword fight segment, which means we need to argue about something. So
yeah, what are we arguing?
Copy link location.
Are we arguing whether
Give
or
me
not
just a moment
cockroaches
here. Right,
should
so
be
let me paste this in chat.
trusted with this much responsibility?
So there you go, chat. There's some of that. Let me. Where's Twitch chat? Twitch chat. All right. So basically, what we're gonna be arguing here is one of the original questions of the universe, which is
why are we here?
Why are we here? Should uncrushable robot cockroaches be allowed?
No.
We have options.
They will destroy us all. How annoying would that be?
Uncrushable robot cockroaches. We have yes, they're cute. No, they will destroy us all.
Yeah, cockroaches, no. Sorry.
All right.
Cockroaches are disgusting.
Kyle's going for no.
They look dirty, they look scary and nasty, and I hate bugs. Cockroaches are probably pretty much at the top of the list when it comes to disgusting bugs that I don't like.
Okay.
They are not cute. If you're arguing that, you're wrong. And robot butterflies would be pretty legit, but I like butterflies the way they are. I don't want to taint it. You know? Leave nature as is.
Fair enough. All right.
But change the cockroaches.
So Kyle argues for no, they will destroy us all. I will argue for yes, they're cute. I think these are pretty damn cute. I don't know about you.
Wow.
Has anyone even looked at the?
Wow. There goes your integrity.
Look at this image.
There it goes.
Look at this image.
Show me one. You can't show me the. That's not even a cockroach.
That's a cockroach. It's walking.
No, that's a roly-poly.
Cockroach is walking normally.
That's a robot, bro. That's a robot, bro.
Look at the cockroach walking in a compressed state.
It's not. Look at its legs. Those aren't real legs. Those are little pieces of plastic or metal that are being
it's a robot,
thrown together.
It's
no.
a robot cockroach, Kyle.
You're a cockroach.
It remains to be seen in the future.
Nah, bro.
Right.
Nah, bro. Screw cockroaches. They suck. They're annoying. They're pests.
I need to gather my thoughts here.
They're pests. People pay good money to have cockroaches removed. Cockroaches.
Everything's falling apart.
Would be cool. Yeah.
All right. I'm hiccuping. Damn it.
Good night.
Cal's going to sleep. Here's what it comes down to. If you're trapped in a building that is collapsed and you have a huge amount of weight up on top of you and it's a life or death situation and you have a uncrushable robot cockroach climbing towards you ready to save your life, you would not say no. That's what I'm going to come down to here. You would not say no.
Yeah.
You'd say yes. Come to me, uncrushable robot cockroach.
No.
Save my life.
I'd say
from being crushed.
Leave me
oblivion.
to die. Just kill me.
You're that dedicated to uncrushable cockroach.
Yeah, because
robots.
Yeah, they shouldn't exist.
Okay.
Just it's not meant.
All right.
You know.
Well, let's see.
I hope they kill me.
If you're right or if you are wrong, Kyle.
Of course, I am right.
Let's see what the results are. Yes, they're cute.
Fuck you.
They should be allowed. They're very cute.
Fuck you.
Wow, very, very close. We only have 36% in favor of yes, they're cute. 34% say they agree with Kyle and say no, they will destroy us all.
Pretty close, though.
Quite a few people in favor of the uncrushable robot butterflies, but you know what? Those are physically impossible, so we couldn't go down that route.
This isn't a utopia, people.
Could we?
Let's get real.
That would be nice.
Real talk.
All right.
Bras.
Let's continue with Sword Fight Robot Edition.
Huh?
With another example.
There's another robot question.
I think you guys will like this one. A strong robot hand with softer side.
No.
Kyle, are you familiar with this one?
Nope.
Look at this robot hand.
What do we got?
Right there. Let's show a video of this robot hand. I think
that's an egg. Is that an egg?
Look at that. Drops down on there.
Is that an egg?
Why isn't this showing appropriately?
It's an egg.
Isn't showing appropriately at all.
Tell me.
Actually, hold on.
Tell me if it's an egg.
Yes, it was an egg that they were attempting to pull up there, but it wasn't showing. Hold on.
What's happening?
I was in the other browser, and for some reason it wasn't appearing. All right, that's better. Okay, sorry. So yeah, these robot hands can reach down, and as you can see, they're picking up an egg right now. When it comes to robot hands, I get any robot, phalanges or whatever like
Robot
that.
anatomy?
Robot anatomy in the past. It's been a very difficult situation when it comes to them actually interfacing with other materials, because it's difficult, if you need something to be soft and gentle, like to pick up an egg, and then you need something to be like, it needs to pick up like a big old block of lead or something like that, you gotta like swap out the hands or that kind of thing.
So the pressure sensitivity is very relative and hard to nail down.
So these are new robot hands that can both have the softness and the gentleness to like pick up an egg,
but also the toughness.
but also they can pick up something like 50 times their own weight or something like that. Yeah, 80 times its own weight.
So that's like
these hands
a
can pick
grapefruit.
up. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
And they're kind of like they look like silicone type.
Yeah, it's kind
fleshy
of
type
funny.
of phalanges.
So here's the question that we're going to ask people to answer right now, which is, should robots have hands that evoke such a wide array of human emotion? I don't know if this is something that we should that should be allowed, right? Because you have obviously you have yes, some robots might be gentle, some might be a little rough.
Sure.
Got a wide array. Second option is no, give them enough power to pick up an egg, but I don't want any robots to be able to crush my skull. Third answer is, would Edward Scissorhands be super stoked or totally pissed about this whole development? I don't know. Because that seemed to be his whole thing, was like, I want some hands, right? Give me some hands.
Right.
Stupid.
I'm
going to paste this. Wait.
I feel like any answer I go with is gonna lose.
Well, that's part of the fun of awesome hardware and sword fight, Kyle.
Okay. Should robots have hands that can evoke such a wide array of human emotion? Yes. Some robots might be gentle, and some might be a little rough. If you're into that, that's the argument I'm going with. Honestly, I think robots should have the same rights as humans do, as long as the AI is on par with the average human intelligence. Because I think that there are certain aspects about being human that transcend humans themselves, where you could actually program AI. One day, maybe in the future, you can program AI to be just as human, if not more so, than a human itself. And it's a very thought-provoking point that I'm making, but if you've ever seen... Have you seen Ex Machina?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
So that...
Last week.
So that. Beautiful movie. Very well done, very thought-provoking, where you've got this robot who thinks human things and pretty much acts and talks like a robot, and while you're watching the movie, intellectually you know that it's a robot, it's not a real person, but the shit that she says and the way she says it makes you feel things like, wow, this is actually a thing that has feelings, that deserves rights, certain civil rights that are granted to humans, so to speak. So if robots can achieve that certain level of AI, I would be the first to back any kind of civil rights behind them, even if their roughness might be a little bit of what I'm into.
I see.
Yep. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay, now it comes time for my response, which is obviously no. No! Robots should not have hands that can evoke such a wide array of human emotion. And in fact, were you about to drink my beer?
Nope.
You want some?
Nope.
You can have a sip if you
I
want.
don't think so.
A little sip. A little sip. What was I talking about? Yes, robots. Here's the thing. Since you bring up the example of Ex Machina itself, and spoiler alert to any of you guys who are still interested in watching that movie, do you remember how it ended, Kyle? Do you remember how the movie ended? If you haven't seen the movie, and again, spoiler alert, I've said it twice, so hopefully I'm okay saying this right now. It ends with the AI robot murdering the creator of the AI robot, escaping to then wreak God knows what kind of havoc upon the world of humanity and everyone else who's out there.
That's the creator's fault.
That's kind of the driving point of the movie, though, I think, is that this AI has become something that has evolved to something that is more than simple humanity, transcended beyond that, broken out of its barriers and its jail and the structure that's been placed around it to keep it contained, and become something of a danger to potentially the rest of humankind.
I had to choose a side.
You already had your side.
I had to choose a side, Paul, and if I had argued the other one, you would have been stuck with the shitty answer, and I was the better man, and I took the high road.
As a result here, and even before you went down the Ex Machina path, my thought was like, look at something like the prevalence of like, not AI necessarily, but like automation, the Internet of Things, as it were. That's what it comes down to for me for something like this. You have robots that can do certain things, that can actually manipulate the world around them, that have a certain amount of spatial awareness of, they have these limbs that can grasp and do different things and that kind of stuff. If we're really looking at something like the potential singularity in the future and some sort of AI becoming self-aware and, turning against humanity or something like that, what do you think the first thing that they're going to do is? They're going to
rape our children.
The Internet of Things, take control of all of the hardware that's at the other end of the Internet of Things and use it to kill as many people as possible. And that is why I don't think robots should have hands that can crush a human skull.
Sounds like a very sound argument, Paul.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I can argue with that.
Let's see what you guys think about this one. I've obviously turned Kyle's mind, but look, but I'm glad you guys have heard everything I've had to say here, because obviously
it matters.
This is truth that needs to be shared with the rest of the world.
Hey.
Because should robots have hands that can evoke such a wide array of human emotions? Apparently, a lot of you guys are into some robot handies. That's what this comes down to for me.
Robo handy.
Little robot, old-fashioned. But you know what? If a robot's doing it, it's not an old-fashioned.
It's a new fashion.
That's
a whole other thing.
It's a completely different kind of hand job.
Cybersex.
Exactly.
2016.
Okay, so
not the kind that you're used to.
The warning has been issued to all you guys out there.
Cyberbeej.
The robots should not be able to
cybergrope
jerk you off, because that will be the end of mankind as we know it. Okay.
Commence hyperjerk.
Hyperjerk.
We have a lot of great things to look forward to.
All right, it's time for the end of the show.
Hey,
that means it's time for Q&A.
Wow, we're already at Q&A. This is flown by.
Indeed, it is.
This flew by.
So if you guys have any questions you guys would like to ask us, please feel free to ask that in chat or whatnot right now. We'll give it a few minutes here and answer some questions.
You can also you can either put it in chat, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or
Facebook. It's perfectly fine.
YouTube or Twitch. You can post it in chat, or you can either tweet me at Forever Kyle on Twitter or at Paul Hardware on Twitter as well. We will be checking both sources of your questions.
Yes. Very diligently right now.
Well, we're sorry if our answers are not up to par, but
wow,
what are you guys a couple? Yes, we are. Clearly, we've been doing the show for it's been 50 episodes, guys. Clearly, we're a couple. Paul's wife, that's in the kitchen right now. That's just a front. You didn't hear it from here.
Purely.
What do you vape? What do you mean? I don't understand.
What do you vape?
I vape.
What do you
vape? Liquid. Kyle, will you be restocking them CPU cooler shirts anytime soon? Yes. As I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, I will be restocking those shirts in a different color, a new limited time only color that you guys will be able to pick up. Never before released, and will never be seen again once they're sold out. So stay tuned for that. I'll be announcing that on Twitter as well.
Here's a Twitter question. Mike Terry says, I had a CPU fan failure and smoker brand new RAM 2, which smells like urine now.
Smoker.
Do you think they're toast?
What smoker is he talking about?
So his CPU fan failed. Here's what I'm guessing. His CPU fan failed. Shit started smoking. His memory is brand new. And it smells like urine. Yeah, they're toast. That's my end solution to that. If your CPU fan fails,
it's not booting.
What should happen is the CPU should reach a temperature where it automatically powers off and saves itself from actually frying anything or damaging anything. So yeah, I would try to swap that fan out and see if shit still works. All right.
Do you guys ever wear contacts? I used to, and I'm poor now, so I wear glasses.
I have some contacts, but I really rarely wear them now. I wore them while I was snowboarding, I guess.
There you go.
Okay.
FX 6300 with a GTX 970. You're going to be CPU bottlenecking pretty hard there, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh.
No matter what resolution you're at, for the most part, you need to upgrade that CPU. How did you get into tech? I graduated from Cal State Northridge in 2010, and I looked for a job. Any job, really. I was looking in the film industry and pretty much any kind of multimedia position that I could find for a good year and a half after I graduated, and it wasn't until about a year and a half when Newegg picked me up. And in the interview, I think they asked me, like, how much do you know about computer building? I was like, pretty much nothing. They're like, great, we'll hire you. Somehow they hired me, and I started working with Paul in 2010. And he taught me a lot of shit about computers. I kind of fell in love with it, and by 2011, I was like really set on building my first computer. I was itching so hard. I was itching hardcore on building my, because I had built a couple in the Newegg lab, in the Newegg studio, and I was like, I want to build one for myself. So that's the first PC build that I put together for on the 2600K Z67. Great platform, still going strong, and yeah, that's how I got into tech.
Z68.
Z68, you're right.
P67.
P67. I get them confused. I'm drunk.
It's okay.
How did you get into tech?
Somebody asked if that's stir fry going in the background. Those are some pork chops.
They can hear it. They can hear the sizzle.
Those are pork chops sizzling in the background for dinner.
Sizzling.
How did I get into tech?
Sizzling.
Was that asked of me?
I think it's both of us. Brutish.
How did I get into tech?
Yes, I fell in love with Paul. So I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know. I mean, I was always...
There was a lot of itching.
I kind of talked about this in my recent Q&A video. I was very into kind of taking things apart and putting them back together when I was younger. When I was 13 or 14, my dad bought a computer, an X46, DX46. I hope that could be wrong. Anyway, my dad bought a computer for us when I was 13 or 14. I figured out how to upgrade the memory in it. And then when I was 15 or 16, I built my own system. And then after that, I was like, I'm just going to build my own computers from now on. Because at that point, it was like, if you built your own computer, you could save $200-300 over buying a computer from a store. Now it's like you can't really do that as much. There's a lot of people who, a lot of companies that make computers, so it's a lot more competitive. But it made a lot more sense back then. And now it's just more of I build my own computers so I can troubleshoot them, so I can take them apart and put it back together, so I can swap out a part if it goes bad or something like that. And yeah, that's the answer to that question.
There you go.
Okay.
Carlos asks on Twitter, can a CPU bottleneck a GPU, or is it only a GPU bottlenecking CPUs? Actually, most of the time, it's generally the CPU that's bottlenecking the GPU.
Goes both ways, though.
It does go both ways, but when you're talking specifically about gaming, generally games, for the most part, are GPU bound. And because of that, if you have a mid-range or like an entry-level CPU, but you've got like a decent-sized video card in there, then you can run into GPU bottlenecking. It does go both ways though, especially if you're gaming at like higher settings, higher quality settings, or a higher resolution, where the GPU is then being taxed. Then it's kind of like the shoes on the other foot, more or less. But it really just depends on the situation that you're going for. Either component can bottleneck the other, depending on the situation.
And you can simulate it if you want.
You could.
If you take a video game that your GPU is performing pretty well at, you lower the settings on it, lower the visual settings so that you get a really, really high frame rate.
At a low
so that
resolution.
The GPU is basically operating at its peak frequency, or it's outputting as much as it can to update that frame rate, but it can give you a really high frame rate because you're going for like a 800 by 600 resolution or something like that. That's how you test the CPU, because then the GPU is outperforming the CPU. But yeah,
You'll need something to compare it to, though. You'll probably need another CPU to compare that benchmark to see if it's actually bottlenecking. Or you can just look up stuff online. That works too. What do you think the average price of a
Eduardo M asks a question that I probably don't have a good answer for. He says 5820K versus 6700K gaming and VMware with Mac Virtual Machine.
5820K.
Would the VM take advantage of the additional cores? I don't know. I do not know the answer to the question about the VM.
Depends on the software.
But I would say if you're doing something that's very CPU intensive, I would go with 5820K.
Yeah.
Or a 5930K over the 6700K, if that's an option. But the 6700K is so overpriced as it is. Like, it's just pisses me off.
Right. Yeah. What is the highest safe temp for the Intel Core i7 4790 non-K? So for any of the Core i7s, for the most part, I would recommend staying below 80. I mean, granted, I think they're rated up to like 90 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
But if you can stay below 80, I feel like that's a very safe, long-term, 24/7 operation type of operating temperature that you should feel very comfortable with. And if the cooler that you have isn't able to achieve those temps, maybe look to do an upgrade. Because I don't know, I always feel like below 80 is kind of like the target that I try to hit. I mean, there's the bare minimum that you can get away with, which is like 90 something on Intel. But generally, I don't like to hit that boundary. I like to stay within that, which is generally below 80 degrees Celsius. That's like the determining factor. Like if someone says, "Hey Kyle, are these CPU temps good?" If it's below 80, I'm like, "Yeah, you're fine." If it's above 80, I'm usually like, it's not bad. I mean, it'll work, but it could be better. I feel like that's like the generic answer that I give people when it comes to like Core i7s.
Yeah, you're pretty on point with that.
Yeah.
If you're talking about an AMD CPU, those are not as tolerant of high temperatures, though. So for AMD CPUs, I like to stay below 70.
Yep.
Okay.
What else we got? Thoughts on Kanye's new album? I don't know. I'm sure it sucks, though. No, I shouldn't say that. It could be amazing.
I
don't
to
know.
ignore.
But I'm not a huge Kanye fan.
Why is there a picture from Steve of you chewing on Heather's
This is from the drunk build.
shoulder? This is from... Oh.
What the fuck, Steve?
Thank you, Steve.
The hell are you doing?
I don't know if I can...
What the hell's wrong with you?
To show people.
Maybe one or two more questions?
Sure.
What's the next con that you guys are going to? Bert asks. Well, me and Paul, I believe we're both going to Computex this year.
Yes.
In Taipei, which is going to be freaking legit. I love Taiwan so much. And we'll both be going to that.
Dumplings.
Like 90%. The dumpling. So we'll both be going there, so you guys will have a lot of good coverage there. Kind of similar to what we did at CES for the most part. I'd also like to go to some more gaming conventions. I feel like I haven't been to one of those in a while.
Oh, we're going to Tech Syndicate.
We're going to the Tech Syndicate LAN.
Yeah.
We are going to LAN Syndicate.
LAN Syndicate. Which
is in April, just a couple months from here. I will be going. Paul will be going. My wife will be going. It's going to be pretty epic. So guys, if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and Google it, LAN Syndicate or LAN Tech Syndicate, whatever, LAN Party, whatever. You know how to search for things on Google. Go ahead and check it out because it's going to be pretty awesome. You guys can meet up with us while you're there. It'd be awesome to see you guys. Anyone who comes out, if you're in the area or if the plane ticket's not too expensive, we'd love to see you. But I think that might be all of the questions we have for today,
yes,
and
indeed.
all the answers. So thank you guys so much for staying tuned, for tuning in to us. Be sure to like this video on Paul's channel if you haven't already, if you're watching the rebroadcast, and be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific on Awesome Hardware, twitch.tv/Awesome Hardware, or on either of our respective YouTube channels. Paul has already got this. He's doing the sign language. You're doing it for the hard of hearing. He's got that easy access. And you're like, Microsoft hired you. That's inappropriate.
Oh, sorry,
that's inappropriate.
My bad.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching.
Too intense there.
Yeah, go ahead and close this out. This is your half of the show. What the fuck am I doing?
You're right. You were doing so well there.
I know.
Nothing further to say. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next week on Tuesday. So yeah, thanks all for joining us, and hit the like button.
After party later.
After party later.